Hello and welcome to Greatness Radio. I am your host, Monica Carter-Tagore, bringing you information, inspiration, and occasionally even interviews to help you show up at your best. When you've made the decision to go for your own greatness, this is the place to be. Let's get to it. I spoke with a friend recently who said that she was experiencing the end of the year blues. She was feeling a little bit of a letdown as the end of the year rolled on to a close, and she was feeling maybe a little bit dissatisfied, even a little bit as if she didn't quite accomplish what she set out to do, especially that, actually. And see, a large part of the reason she was feeling this way was because she felt that she hadn't quite hit the mark on some of the goals she set out to accomplish earlier in the year. And I completely understand. So if you are in that position, if you too are experiencing the end of the year blues because you feel that you didn't quite hit the mark on the goals you set for yourself this year, on the hopes, the dreams, on that big vision for your life of greatness, then listen up. I have a special message for you today, and that message is this. I want you to celebrate the small victories on your way to those bigger victories. And so if you didn't quite hit the mark on something, then let's look at your life, let's look at your work and see where you made progress. Because you see, progress is a good thing. Progress, in fact, is part of your success, because you don't just go from wanting something to having it accomplished. There is a period in there where you're making progress toward that end goal, even sometimes if it's not happening as quickly as you would like, as in the case of my friend. She is a remarkable woman who has built a business around her gift. She has a wonderful gift of cooking, and specifically of baking. And so she has built a business around that, and she has certain goals that she is looking to accomplish. And this year she didn't quite hit some of them, but she's made progress. You see, this for her was a year of learning. This was a year of learning, and I believe next year will be a year of implementation for her. She learned so much about her industry. She will be launching a new product in a big way soon, or that's the plan for the next year. And I believe the information she learned this year is really positioning her well for that. She learned about what she needed for her nutritional label, some information she did not have before. She learned about a potential contact who may be able to possibly help her and point her in the right direction related to what she wants to do within her business. She learned several things. So this year was not a wash for her. Even though she's feeling disappointed about where she is in relation to the goals she set, this year was not a bad year for her. In fact, it's a year that I believe can be a cornerstone year in her business, because it's a learning year that will help to position her for great things in the future. And so when you are reviewing your year, as I hope you do, and perhaps you already have, I want you to look at really those things that have happened that may be positioning you for something bigger and something better, and of course something bolder next year. So if you feel that maybe you didn't quite do all you intended this year, well, maybe you too were having a learning year. Maybe this year was about stepping back to really absorb some new information and process that so that you can move forward in a more solid year in a more solid way next year. Maybe it's about moving forward in a better way next year, so that you're not maybe trying to figure things out next year. Maybe this year was about figuring it out. Next year is about the implementation. Next year is about the doing. So look at it that way. In fact, sometimes I believe that we look at our lives in the wrong way. We look at our work in the wrong way. While it's good to press forward and to press hard toward our hopes, goals, and dreams, and I definitely believe that. That's why I have this Greatness Radio podcast, because I want to encourage you to push toward your hopes, your goals, your dreams, your vision for your big, bold, great life. But I also think sometimes it's important to be able to step back
and to truly see what's going on, to celebrate those incremental steps we're making toward our hopes, our goals, our dreams. And you know what? Sometimes it's as simple as changing the way we see our lives. Maybe you're looking at your life through the wrong lens. So I encourage you to put on the lens of gratitude when you are looking at your life and when you're looking at your work and when you are evaluating the type of year you had. So when you put on the lens of gratitude, it helps you to see things in a better way. It helps you to possibly see the progress you've made. And I know a lot of times we talk about gratitude, and some people even think that's a bit hokey. They think, oh goodness, someone else is talking about gratitude. Why do I need to focus so much on gratitude? I just want to get to the doing. Well, focusing on gratitude helps you to get to the doing, because focusing on gratitude helps you to see very clearly just what you have been doing, what you have been learning, what you have been experiencing, and who you are becoming. So focus on gratitude. Look at your life and your work through the lens of gratitude. And the way to do that is to just think, okay, how far have I come? What have I done that perhaps I'm not acknowledging right now? What have I done that I'm not acknowledging right now? What have I done that perhaps I've not even really seen or realized? And I will give you an example just from my own life, a very brief example. Yesterday on my morning run, I actually looked at the scenery around me. And often, even though I run in this beautiful place, I don't always take the time to look at the scenery. Many times, quite frankly, I must confess that when I'm out there running, I'm just running to get it done. I'm just running to check it off the list. I'm just running to get that run finished so I can get back home and I can get on with the rest of my day. But yesterday, as I was doing my run, as I went down a hill, I looked to my right and I saw this field of rocks of different sizes, of boulders even, and it was a really nice scene of natural beauty. And then as I looked to my front, I saw the mountains ahead of me. Another nice scene of natural beauty. And so I just had to, as I put one foot in front of the other, as I ran, I just had to say thank you for allowing me to run in such a beautiful place. Thank you for allowing me to have the ability to get out here and to do this. And that for me was just a little shift. I went from thinking about the run as drudgery and something I had to do to thinking about the run as a blessing and a gift. So when you are looking at your life and you're looking at your work, consider seeing it from a different perspective. Consider seeing it from a perspective of gratitude. And when you see it from the perspective of gratitude, that allows you to be able to see the progress you're making. It allows you to be able to see where you really are. It allows you to be able to see something good where perhaps you didn't see something good at all at first. And in my case, I wasn't taking into account the beautiful setting that I've been running in. I wasn't taking into account the beautiful scenery. I was just taking into account the fact that I was out there running. It was something that I have committed to do. I do it. I get out there. I come on back and get going with the rest of my day. But really, the run is a beautiful experience itself, and I should be celebrating it as well. Even though yesterday was pretty cold and it was pretty windy, once I saw my run through that lens of gratitude, it was just so much better. It was so much more beautiful. So how can you see your life and your work through a lens of gratitude? What can you reflect on to just see really where you are now, just how far you've come, how much progress you've made, even on the way to some goal you have? Again, in my friend's case, I believe that area where she can reflect on and focus on is possibly related to the fact that she's had such a phenomenal year of learning. That learning will really position her for some great things in the future. And I can say that based on my own story. From about 2009 to maybe 2012, possibly some part of 13, I was in a deep, deep mode of learning. My business at that point it was in a crisis, and I've told you about this before. 2009, so many things happened for us. We lost nearly everything, and we had to go into a period of rebuilding, going into a period of just stabilizing and then growing from there. And so from about 2009 to about 2012 and even 13, we were in a deep period of learning and seeing what else we needed to do within our business. And the results we're producing today are as a direct result of the learning we had during that period. That's what contributed to the success we're having now, the things we're doing now, being able to produce the blog, producing this podcast, producing the books that I'm producing. As you know, I have a new book coming out very soon. We've actually pushed the release date back. So I'm having a new book coming out very soon about using your gift. It's coming out. It's called Spark on Fire, 7 Ways to Use Your Gift for Strategic Success. So we're able to do all these things, serve the clients we do, all because of the learning period we went through, all because of that time of study and learning. And now it's about implementation. It's about doing the things we've been doing over the past couple of years so that we can serve people better, so that we can do what we feel that we were put here to do, so that we can answer our calling, so we can live more in purpose, and so we can live the great life we choose. All of that rests on the foundation, rests on the bedrock of the learning period we had. So a learning period is very important. Don't underestimate it. It is something that can set you up for great success in your future. And so had we not experienced that learning, we would not have been able to grow. We would not have been able to even pivot or reposition our business the way we need it, so that we're having a much stronger business, and a business that's more in keeping with our values and who we truly are and the work that we want to put out into the world. So that period of learning really contributed to where we are today and the work we're doing today and the successes we're having today. And I am so grateful. I'm so thankful for that period of learning, that period that allowed us to be able to really examine where we were and to see what we needed to do differently. So if you've not quite experienced the results that you wanted this year, maybe it was a period of learning. Or maybe it was something else, and that something else may show up when you examine your life through the lens of gratitude. I encourage you in these next few weeks, as we wrap up the year, to examine your life and your work through the lens of gratitude, so you can see just what successes you have had, so you can see just where you are, so you can see what progress you've made. And then, of course, as you do that, set goals for the following year. Make sure that they're in line with your big vision of your great life. What are the goals you need to set? What are the steps to help you get there? We'll talk about all of that in a future podcast, but today I just really wanted you to focus on seeing this year through the lens of gratitude, so that you can see the progress you've made and not beat yourself up so much over what you did not do, what you did not accomplish, what you did not experience. Yes, it may be true you didn't do those things, but maybe the reason you didn't do those things was because you were in this period of learning, and next year you will do even more than what you thought you would do this year, what you anticipated doing this year, what you wanted to do this year. And sometimes in the period of learning, it allows you to kind of reposition or even rethink what you're doing and to see something in a different way. So maybe that's what this year was about. So don't be so down on yourself if this year didn't quite go off the way you wanted, didn't quite go off the way you expected. Just see the progress you did make, and from there, make sure that you're putting in place what you have learned so that you can go out next year and do something big and bold with it, so you can live that great life. Remember, success is the progression toward a worthwhile goal. And so when you are having progress, when you are working toward that thing, that is success in motion. Success isn't just about the end point, it's about the journey. And so count your blessings for this year. See where you have progressed, and then set yourself up for a big next year. You can do this thing. I don't want you to get down on yourself, because often we get down on ourselves and then we just quit altogether. There's no need to quit when you're progressing. There's no need to quit when you're learning. There's no need to quit even when you're making small steps. Often we take smaller steps than we want simply because there's more that we need to learn. And so that's why I want you to reflect in gratitude. That's why I want you to celebrate the small victories you've had this year, so you can set yourself up to have the right frame of mind for next year, and you can set yourself up to do something amazing next year. You can do this thing. You can live and breathe your greatness. You can make your great life happen. You can make your great work happen. You can truly do this thing. I believe it. I am living my great life. I am pursuing my greatness. I am working in my greatness, even in those times when it feels as if things are going more slowly than I would like. You can do the same. Let's live and breathe our greatness. Let's go out there and have a fantastic close to the year as we start the new year.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to go to iTunes and subscribe. And tell a friend too, so they can live and breathe their greatness. And for more free information, inspiration, and ideas, be sure to go to monicacartertagore.com/greatness-newsletter and join the newsletter so that you get all of my best strategies, ideas, and information on freeing your greatness. In fact, go there now and you can get the Greatness Starter Collection, which is 3 free resources to inspire and inform you on your path to greatness. You have it in you. Go on. Set your greatness on fire.